Part 3 begins where inner resistance can no longer hide behind silence, because this is the stage where God confronts not your actions, but your agreements. Many people change behavior but never break agreement, and broken agreements are what free destiny. Archangel Michael is present now as a breaker, not of people, but of covenants you unknowingly made with fear, delay, and limitation. Understand this clearly. Not every agreement was spoken, some were formed in moments of disappointment. Betrayal, unanswered prayer, or prolonged waiting, those moments shaped expectations, and expectations quietly became boundaries. Boundaries not set by God become prisons. God is dismantling those prisons now. Dismantling does not feel gentle. It feels like pressure against identity. Identity reshaping is always uncomfortable because it removes familiarity. Familiarity is not safety. Familiarity is habit. Habit kept you alive in survival seasons, but habit will choke you in destiny seasons. Destiny demands intention. Intention requires awareness. Awareness is fully awake now. You will not be able to unsee what God is revealing. Ignorance is no longer available as refuge. Refuge now is obedience. Obedience must be precise. Precision is being trained through discomfort. Discomfort here is not emotional pain alone. It is internal friction between old identity and emerging authority. Friction produces heat. Heat refines. Refinement removes excess. Excess includes false humility, false patience, false surrender. False humility hides fear. False patience hides procrastination. False surrender hides avoidance. God exposes these not to accuse you, but to remove delay. Delay is no longer harmless. Delay now has cost. Cost is measured in lost impact. Impact has been waiting long enough. Heaven has been patient. Now heaven is firm. Firmness does not equal anger. Firmness equals clarity. Clarity cuts through confusion without apology. Archangel Michael enforces clarity by disrupting measured and lost impact. Impact has been waiting long enough. Heaven has been patient. Now heaven is firm. Firmness does not equal anger. Firmness equals clarity. Clarity cuts through confusion without apology. Archangel Michael enforces clarity by disrupting mental loops that kept you passive. Passivity is dangerous now. Passivity allows others to define direction. Direction must now be defined by God alone. Others may pressure you with urgency, expectation, or emotional demand. Emotional demand is manipulation when it bypasses God's instruction. Manipulation is subtle. It wears the face of need. Need does not equal assignment. Assignment alone determines responsibility. You are not called to rescue everyone. Rescue mentality destroys leaders. Leaders build systems, not dependency. God is shifting you from rescuer to governor. Governance requires boundaries. Boundaries will feel firmer now. Firmness may be misinterpreted as coldness. Accept misunderstanding, explaining. Boundaries weakens them. Authority does not argue. Authority stands. Standing will feel lonely at times. Loneliness here is not abandonment. It is separation for clarity. Clarity cannot survive constant noise. Noise must be reduced. Reduction will happen whether you choose it or not. Cooperation makes it peaceful. Resistance makes it painful. Choose cooperation. Archangel Michael will remove noise aggressively if ignored. Aggression here is protection. Protection becomes severe only when ignored. Do not test severity. Heed early signals. Early signals include loss of peace, heaviness after certain conversations, exhaustion after unnecessary engagements. These are warnings. Warnings are mercy. Mercy here is time-sensitive. You must respond quickly. Slow response now equals disobedience. Disobedience here is not rebellion. It is negligence. Negligence is dangerous at this level. God does not tolerate negligence where authority is involved. Authority without responsibility destroys environments. Atmospheres shift when you enter. This is evidence of authority emerging. Emerging authority attracts scrutiny. Scrutiny will come from people, not just spiritual opposition. People will test consistency. Inconsistency discredits calling. Consistency must be protected. Consistency requires discipline. Discipline now includes thought discipline. Uncontrolled thoughts create emotional instability. Emotional instability undermines leadership. Leadership must remain steady. Steady does not mean emotionless. It means governed emotion. Governed emotion allows clear decisions under pressure. Pressure will increase. Increased pressure is confirmation of growth. Pressure reveals what still needs refinement. Refinement will continue. Do not resist it. Resistance prolongs discomfort. Submission shortens it. Submission does not mean passivity. It means alignment under authority. God's authority brings order. Order feels restrictive to chaos-trained minds. Chaos-trained minds equate freedom with disorder. Disorder always ends in collapse. Collapse has been prevented for you. Prevention feels strict now. Strictness is love matured. Immature love indulges. Mature love corrects. God's love for you is mature. Archangel Michael enforces mature love without sentiment. Sentiment would delay correction. Correction now must be immediate. Immediate correction prevents public failure. Public failure would damage witness. Witness matters because message matters. Message must remain credible. Credibility is fragile under visibility. Visibility is approaching. Prepare internally. Do not perform externally. Performance exhausts. Authenticity endures. Endurance is required. This is a long assignment. Long assignments require rhythm. Rhythm is being established now. Rhythm includes rest, silence, obedience, and decisive action when instructed. Action without instruction would now feel heavy. Heaviness signals pause. Pause does not mean retreat. Pause means recalibration. Recalibration keeps direction accurate. Inaccurate direction at high speed is dangerous. God is controlling speed now. Speed will increase later. Patience now will save you later. Impatience now would cost years. Years are precious. God has redeemed time. Redeemed time carries weight. Weight demands respect. Respect is shown through discipline. Discipline will feel non-negotiable now. Negotiate and peace withdraws. Peace is indicator. Peace does not equal comfort. Peace equals alignment. Alignment remains central. Alignment must be checked daily. Daily obedience keeps authority active. Authority inactive becomes vulnerable. Vulnerability invites attack. Attack here would not destroy you, but it would distract you. Distraction is the enemy now. Distraction steals focus. Focus must remain sharp. Sharp focus feels intense. Intensity must be balanced with humility. Humility keeps learning posture open. Learning posture allows adjustment. Adjustment prevents stagnation. Stagnation would invite decay. Decay is silent. God prefers loud correction to silent decay. Loud correction you feel now. Silent decay you are being spared from. Gratitude is appropriate. Gratitude shifts perspective. Perspective governs reaction. Reaction must be measured. Measured reaction preserves dignity. Dignity matters because you represent more than yourself now. Representation carries responsibility. Responsibility must be honored. Dishonoring responsibility would remove trust. Trust is everything at this level. Trust once lost is slow to regain. God is building trust through obedience under pressure. Pressure will continue. Do not pray for its removal. Pray for wisdom to walk through it. Walking through pressure builds capacity. Capacity allows expansion. Expansion is coming. expansion without this. The second part begins where comfort fully ends and confrontation with truth intensifies, because part 2 is not about inspiration, it is about exposure, the kind that feels unsettling because it removes illusions you did not know you were still living under. God does not expose to shame, he exposes to save, and Archangel Michael does not reveal weakness to accuse you, he reveals it to eliminate future collapse. Understand this clearly at the beginning, nothing being uncovered now is new to heaven, it is only new to you. What you are feeling as heaviness is not condemnation, it is awareness awakening. Awareness always feels heavier than ignorance, but it is also what prevents destruction. Many people pray for power but resist awareness, not understanding that power without awareness destroys its carrier. This is why the tone shifts here. Because destiny cannot continue politely when delay has already cost enough. God is no longer persuading you emotionally, he is instructing you. Spiritually, instruction carries authority. Authority demands response. Neutrality is no longer an option. Neutrality feels safe, but it quietly aligns with stagnation. Stagnation attracts decay. Decay does not announce itself loudly, it happens gradually until collapse surprises everyone. God is intervening now to prevent that surprise. Archangel Michael stands present not as comforter but as guardian of order, because order must be restored before increase can continue, disorder tolerated. Today becomes bondage tomorrow. Bondage never begins with chains, it begins with excuses. Excuses feel reasonable, spiritual even, until years are lost. Years have already been threatened. This is why urgency enters now, not human urgency, but divine seriousness. Seriousness does not shout, it presses. Pressure here is intentional. Pressure reveals structure. Weak structures fail under pressure. Strong ones hold. Holding does not mean feeling strong. It means remaining aligned. Alignment under pressure is F. Understanding. God is rebuilding foundations now. Rebuilding requires demolition of assumptions. Assumptions feel safe because they are familiar. Familiarity is not truth. Truth withstands scrutiny. Familiarity resists it. Archangel Michael cuts through familiarity without apology. You may feel resistance internally as old thought patterns are challenged. That resistance is not evil, it is habit. Habit unchallenged becomes limitation. Limitation restricts calling. Restriction here would be disobedience. Disobedience is not always rebellion. Sometimes it is comfort chosen over clarity. Comfort dulls awareness. Dulled awareness invites compromise. Compromise always costs more later. God is preventing later cost by demanding early adjustment. Adjustment feels uncomfortable. Discomfort now is mercy. Mercy later would require rescue. Rescue after collapse damages credibility. Credibility matters because others are connected to your obedience. You are no longer walking alone, whether you accept it or not. Your choices echo outward. Echoing influence increases responsibility. Responsibility increases weight. Weight increases seriousness. Seriousness refines character. Character sustains calling. Calling without character collapses publicly. Public collapse dishonors God. God protects his name by protecting your process. Process protection often feels restrictive. Restriction is not punishment. It is preservation. Preserved purpose reaches destination intact. Destination is not a place, it is function. Function fulfilled glorifies God more than achievement. Achievement can inflate ego. Function humbles. Humility is being deepened here intentionally. Humility does not mean thinking less of yourself. It means thinking accurately about God and your dependence on him. Dependence is not weakness. Independence is. Independence resists instruction. Instruction ignored leads to error. Error at this stage would be costly, cost measured in years, not emotions. Years are precious now. Acceleration destroys. Archangel Michael enforces safety through restraint. Restraint will feel frustrating to ambition. Ambition must submit to assignment. Assignment defines limits. Limits protect outcomes. Outcome protection is priority now. Outcomes must remain clean. Contaminated outcomes require cleansing later. Cleansing delays progress. Progress must be preserved. Progress now is internal more than external. Internal alignment precedes external manifestation. Manifestation without alignment collapses. Collapse is not allowed here. Allowed does not mean impossible. It means prevented through obedience. Obedience now must be immediate. Delayed obedience is disobedience disguised as caution. Caution asks God. Delay negotiates. Negotiation ends authority. Authority does not negotiate with fear. Fear has lost jurisdiction. You may still feel it, but it no longer leads. Leadership has shifted internally. Old patterns will try to regain control. Control is subtle. It disguises itself as responsibility. True responsibility listens. False responsibility dominates. Dominance without authority breeds resistance. Resistance slows movement. Movement must remain fluid. Fluidity under order is strength. Rigidity resists God's adjustments. Flexibility within obedience is required. Flexibility without obedience becomes compromise. Compromise weakens protection. Protection must remain active. Archangel Michael remains active only in alignment. Alignment must be maintained consciously. Unconscious living is no longer permitted. Unconsciousness invites manipulation. Manipulation thrives where awareness sleeps. Awareness is awake now. Do not put it back to sleep through distraction. Distraction is dangerous here. Dangerous not because it is evil, but because it steals attention. Attention is currency. Currency misused leads to loss. Loss here would not be material. It would be momentum. Momentum loss feels like confusion returning. Confusion is not punishment. It is signal, sign. Insecurity no longer defines you. Security is being established. Security in God produces calm authority. Calm authority does not rush. Rushing is fear-based. Fear-based action produces regret. Regret drains energy. Energy must be conserved. Conservation requires boundaries. Boundaries will tighten now. Tighter boundaries protect growth. Growth without boundaries becomes cancerous. Cancer grows fast and kills the body. God is preventing unhealthy growth. Prevention feels strict. Strictness here is love. Love protects future fruit. Fruit matters. Fruit feeds others. Feeding others requires health. Unhealthy leaders harm those they lead. God will not allow that. This is why discipline increases now. Discipline feels personal. It is not. It is purposeful. Purpose remains central. Distractions will test resolve. Resolve must be firm. Firmness does not mean harshness. It means clarity. Clarity will simplify decisions. Simplified decisions reduce stress. Stress unmanaged leads to burnout. Burnout invites bitterness. Bitterness poisons calling. God is eliminating bitterness roots now. Root removal is painful but freeing. Freedom will follow. Freedom here does not mean ease. It means alignment without inner conflict. Inner conflict drains strength. Strength must be preserved. Preserved strength sustains endurance. Endurance is required. This is a long path. Shortcuts are forbidden. Shortcuts compromise foundation. Compromised foundation collapses later. Later collapse costs more. God chooses early discomfort over late disaster. Trust this. Trust does not mean understanding everything. It means obeying what is clear. Clarity is sufficient now. you know what must change. Delay would be. Archangel Michael seals gaps through enforced pacing. Pacing may frustrate ambition. Ambition must submit to assignment. Assignment carries authority. Ambition without assignment breeds rivalry. Rivalry wastes focus. Focus is precious. Protect it. Protect your inner life fiercely. Inner compromise will eventually surface externally. Surface exposure later would be costly. God prefers early correction. Early correction feels strict. Strictness now prevents severity later. Severity would damage. Reputation. Reputation matters because it reflects God's work through you. Misrepresentation would discredit message. Message integrity must remain pure. Purity here is not moral perfection, it is alignment consistency. Consistency under pressure proves authenticity. Authenticity attracts trust. Trust opens doors no force can open. Force closes doors permanently. Never force outcomes. Waiting feels uncomfortable here because momentum has begun. Learn to wait while moving internally. Internal. Movement prepares external acceleration. Acceleration will come. When it does, it will feel natural, not chaotic. Chaos would signal misalignment. Alignment produces calm acceleration. Calm acceleration is rare. Rare things attract attention. Attention attracts testing. Testing refines authority further. This cycle continues upward. Growth does not eliminate testing. It changes its form. Understand this so you do not feel betrayed by challenge. Challenge now is confirmation, not contradiction. Confirmation that you are advancing. Archangel Michael remains alert. Alertness must be mirrored in you. Spiritual sleep at this stage would be dangerous. Sleep invites infiltration. Infiltration is subtle corruption. Corruption erodes slowly. Erosion unnoticed leads to collapse sudden. Vigilance prevents erosion. Vigilance without paranoia is required. Paranoia comes from fear. Fear has lost its authority. Do not resurrect it. Trust the training. Trust the signals. Trust the process. God is not impro. This is not a message meant to comfort you. This is a message meant to wake you up, because heaven does not always whisper. Sometimes it warns. And if you are hearing this now, it is because delay is no longer permitted. God has watched patiently. He has waited through excuses, confusion, fear, and hesitation. But patience does not mean permission, and mercy does not cancel consequence. Archangel Michael stands present in this moment not as a symbol, not as a story, but as an enforcer of divine order. Because something around your life has crossed a line, understand this clearly. This is not about punishment. This is about alignment, and alignment becomes urgent when destiny is at risk. There are forces that only respond to authority, not emotion, not intention, not good thoughts, authority. And authority has been activated now. You may feel a strange pressure in your spirit as these words continue. That pressure is not fear. It is recognition, because truth carries weight, God is not asking you to listen, He is instructing you to pay attention. You have been protected longer than you realize, guarded from events that would have crushed you if allowed to reach you prematurely. Archangel Michael has stood between you and outcomes you never saw, outcomes that were already in motion. Protection unseen is still protection, and it does not last forever if alignment is ignored. Darkness does not always attack immediately. Sometimes it waits for negligence. Negligence opens doors that force could never break. God is closing doors now that you left open unknowingly. Doors of distraction, doors of compromise, doors of delay. Closing doors create sound in the spirit. That sound is what you feel as discomfort. Discomfort now is mercy. Later it would be damage. Do not resist this moment. Resistance would cost more than obedience. Obedience here does not require perfection. It requires surrender. Surrender is not weakness. It is cooperation with authority higher than your fear. Unnecessary will be cut away, relationships, habits, patterns, even plans that were never aligned will begin to fall apart without explanation. Do not panic. Panic would blind you. Clarity is required now. God is not dismantling your life. He is removing what cannot go where you are being taken. Where you are being taken requires cleanliness of intent and strength of discipline. Discipline is not restriction. It is protection refined. Refined protection allows movement into dangerous territory. Without damage, dangerous territory does not mean evil places, it means influential spaces. Influence attracts attention. Attention attracts opposition. Opposition requires authority. Authority has been forged through pressure you already survived. Survival was training. Training is over. Deployment begins. Deployment does not feel exciting. It feels serious. Seriousness replaces confusion. Confusion will no longer be tolerated. Indecision now will feel heavy, because indecision is misalignment. God is narrowing your options intentionally. Fewer options increase accuracy. Accuracy preserves life. Life preserved fulfills purpose. Purpose ignored invites collapse. Collapse is not your destiny, but it is the destiny of those who refuse correction. This is the warning portion, and it is spoken plainly. Do not return to what God pulled you out of. Do not negotiate with what was already defeated. Do not reopen doors heaven sealed. Reopening would remove protection. Protection removed exposes you to battles you are not meant to fight. Archangel Michael does not fight battles you insist on creating. He escorts obedience, not rebellion disguised as curiosity. Curiosity without permission leads to entanglement. Entanglement drains strength. Drained strength invites fear. Fear invites control. Control without authority becomes tyranny. God is preventing this chain now. Prevention feels strict. Strictness now avoids severity later. Severity would cost years. Years are no longer to be lost. You from noise. Noise is not enemy, but it is distraction. Distraction is more dangerous than opposition. Opposition sharpens. Distraction dulls. Dulled awareness invites mistakes. Mistakes at this stage echo loudly. Echoing mistakes damage credibility. Credibility matters because others are connected to your outcome. Your obedience now affects more than you. This is why Archangel Michael stands watch aggressively. Aggression here is protective, not violent. Violent force is unnecessary when authority is clear. Authority is clear now. You will notice a shift in how fear approaches you. It will knock, not invade. Knocking means permission is required. Do not grant it. Permission is given through agreement. Agreement happens through words, thoughts, and choices. Guard all three. Words spoken casually now carry consequence. Speak intentionally. Silence is sometimes obedience. Obedience does not always look active. Sometimes it looks like restraint. Restraint is power under control. Uncontrolled power destroys. Controlled power builds. Building is your assignment now. Building takes time. Do not rush visible results. Visibility will come when structure can support it. Premature visibility collapses leaders. God has seen too many fall. He is preventing you from becoming another lesson. Learn now so you do not learn publicly later. Archangel Michael reinforces learning through inner conviction. Conviction will feel immediate now. Ignore it and discomfort increases. Obey it. And peace returns quickly. Peace is your indicator. Peace does not mean ease. It means alignment. Alignment feels calm even under pressure. Pressure will remain. Pressure refines. Refinement increases value. Value attracts trust. Trust opens doors no effort can open. Effort without alignment exhausts. Exhaustion invites compromise. Compromise is forbidden now.